Good morning. Good morning. So we are ready for today's class. Good morning, dear students. Please join quickly. Good morning. Once again, I welcome you, class. Good morning. Well, few students have already joined. I find the number is increasing quickly. Good morning. Okay, class, before I start, I want to say a message today because this is 22nd April. You know, we celebrate this day as Earth Day. There are many online competitions are going on. Now you have lot of time. You can participate in those competitions and win many prizes. Exciting prizes are there in the online platform. Many competitions are going on. Now with a small board I have decorated it for this purpose. This is Earth Day. This is what a small picture I could draw, and I have written a small message. Let me read it for you. I hope this is visible to you on the screen and you too can read it and keep the note with you. This is regarding Earth Day. To leave the world better than you found it, sometimes you have to pick up other people's trash. I repeat it. To leave the world better than you found it, sometimes you have to pick up other people's trash. Am I right? We need to clean our earth on our own. We belong to this earth and we have not inherited it, we just borrow it from our children. So it's our utmost duty to take care of earth. Before I proceed, I would like to read the pledge for the day. You too, please read it and keep a note on it. Well, I start. Mata Bhumi Putroham Prithvi. Earth is my mother and I am the son of earth. I, Smita, shall imbibe this spirit and pledge that I shall always preserve the earth and protect natural resources in my daily life. I will preserve all the natural resources in my daily life. This is my pledge. With this, we start our today's lesson. And today we are going to start a new topic, that is coordinate geometry. Once again, very good morning to all of you. And now I start the class. Please settle down, all of you. So today is our topic. This is our chapter 3, coordinate geometry. See, coordinate geometry, it's not very new to us. We are just familiar with coordinate geometry, not by this name, but otherwise we have studied in our class 6, 7th class about number line. You know how to represent the numbers on a number line. Number line, you can draw a horizontal one or a perpendicular one. So with these two axes, which the previous knowledge we are already having since our class 6th or 7th standard, that is the representation of number on number line. With this we will start our today's topic, that is coordinate geometry. Okay, so it seems you people are joining. Come on, be in time, be regular. That's what I ask you every day. And now because you all are aware of this live class in different schools, I welcome you and this is my great privilege to interact with the students of various different students of the so many schools of our Delhi. I welcome you, my dear students. Please use this time of lockdown. You are locked down at home, but don't waste your time. Make a regular timetable and follow it. Okay. So in our 6th class, we have studied about, initially when we started with math, we came to know about counting numbers. Counting numbers means numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4. That is naturally where we start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. So that's what is the number line, and later on in class we came to know about the whole numbers. That is when 0 is added to the natural number, that comes here, that makes the family of whole numbers. And thereafter in the 6th class we came to know about integers, that is positive numbers and negative numbers together forms the family of integers. Then again we started with the number line of integers. So slowly I will start with our initial knowledge, that is of number line for natural numbers. Say number line for natural numbers, you draw it like this. Now this point, this is an end point. This is not exactly a line, because you know line that can be extended in both direction. But this is the starting point, this is the end point, we mark it as 0. Then this is your, sorry, if we are talking about natural numbers, then this will be like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like this. This is the number line for natural numbers. When 0 is added to it, the number line becomes like this is your 0, then 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the number line to represent the whole numbers. Then we are familiar with the number line that is for integers. This is your 0. Then on one side, this is the positive side, 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. And over here in the left hand side, this is -1, -2, -3 like this. So this is the positive side and this is your negative sign number line. This is the number line for integers. Integers are the whole numbers and the negative natural numbers together forms the integers. Natural numbers, the numbers that comes out naturally when you start counting. When I ask you to count the number of students in the class, you start with 1, 2, 3, 4. So the counting that comes out naturally is called your natural numbers. So these are the natural numbers number line. And when 0 is added to the number line, that becomes the whole number. So it starts with 0. And positive and negative natural numbers including 0 is the set of integers. So now with the help of this number line, you can represent the numbers on the, we can say the location, we can find out the location of a number. We know as we move towards the right hand side, the numbers are increasing. Similarly, if you draw the number line in this fashion, this is your 0, then as you move up, the number increases. So you write it as 1, 2, 3, 4 like this, okay? And as you go down, this is -1, -2, -3, deep and deep under the sea. This is how you find the depth of the sea. This is the reference point. As you move down, this distance increases in the negative, and this is -1, -2, -3 like this. This is we use to find the depth of sea. This is our reference point. As we move up, this is the height we measure from this number line. So together these two number lines when merged together, that will give rise to the topic of coordinate geometry. So a number line, horizontal one, and a number line which is vertical. When these two are combined or merged together, that's where we start our topic coordinate geometry. And this point 0, 0, this is said to be the origin. Where from this number line originates? The word origin means originate, that starts. You know the life originated from the water. We see the water animals, the aquatic animals came first on this earth. So where the life originated? So here in this case, anything that originates, this is the from where originate. So we will talk about this. This is a little bit idea of coordinate geometry. Now I will tell you which mathematician has given us this, which mathematician is said to be the father of coordinate geometry. This all we will discuss now in the first class of coordinate geometry. See, the French mathematician René Descartes is known as the father of coordinate geometry. So, who was it? The French scientist René Descartes. I write the name. This is the mathematician. He was a French mathematician. He was very much fond of lying down and thinking over it, reading stories like that. While in a pleasure time he was sleeping and dreaming of something, he gave rise to this. A thought came to his mind, and from where he gave birth to the topic of coordinate geometry. So he is known as the father of coordinate geometry. And in order to honor this person, therefore, René Descartes, the coordinate geometry that we will be talking about, that is the two lines in the same plane, in this way whatever we get, that is called your Cartesian geometry. We call it Cartesian plane. Cartesian plane. Okay, please note it down. This is known as your Cartesian plane. And this is the mathematician who is known as the father of coordinate geometry. And in his honor, we call this plane, after drawing these two lines, you get these four parts. There are four sections. Your plane is now divided into four parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. How to number it? That again I am going to discuss with you. But before that, I tell you, in the honor of René Descartes, we call this plane as Cartesian plane. And we order the points in the, we locate the points in Cartesian plane. Okay. And also you know that in your study of geography, in your social science also, you do, in order to find the location of a country or a place, we use map. And while using map also, you draw this type of axis and you mark it as north, south, then east and west. Am I right? So north, south, east and west, this type of axis we also use since the beginning. I think you started doing your social science from 4th, 5th standard. Then only you came to know about this way of marking the positions, that is north, south, east and west. Okay, so the same axes we are using here in maths, and we are calling it as x-axis and y-axis, and they are perpendicular to each other. The two axes are perpendicular to each other. Okay, and in this way, so we see that this maths, study of maths is related to, it is nothing different, it is related to social science as well. Okay, and you know the horizontal lines, you can also relate it like that. In social science, you have studied about latitudes and longitudes. Latitudes are the horizontal lines and the vertical lines you call it as longitude. So, and in between you have got equator and the prime meridian. So this you can imagine with your social science as the equator and the prime meridian. So fine. So coordinate geometry gives us the opportunity to locate a point in a plane. Coordinate geometry to locate a point in the plane. Okay, to locate a point in the plane, and that plane, when we draw the axis, is called Cartesian coordinate. And please note down, I hope you have noted it down, but please note it down. This, you can make project on mathematicians. In that case, you can use this mathematician, his contribution in the field of mathematics. Then you can go in detail and note down what all are the contributions, and in this way you can prepare one project and submit it for your marks in internal marks, that is projects. So René Descartes gave rise, is the French mathematician, is the French mathematician. He is the French mathematician. And he is known as the father of coordinate geometry. Father of coordinate geometry. Okay, these are the introductions. You can note it down. Now, another thing that he gave rise to the plane. When you locate the plane, that is called your Cartesian plane. System used to locate the point in a plane is called Cartesian plane. Cartesian system, or we call it as Cartesian system, or because we started with system used to locate the point in a plane is called Cartesian system or plane. Okay, so please note it down. Okay, sorry, it was like this. Please, I'm sorry. Now it is clear to you. This is visible. Now, often we have been using it. See, often we are, you are asked in the class if the teacher is not aware of the name of the student. We often say, okay, first row, second bench, or the second row, the second last bench. This also we are pointing it out. So we have been using, we are habitual with this system from very beginning. Now we have come to the name of this thing, that is your coordinate geometry, locating a point in the plane. So I hope you have noted it. The boardwalk is clear to you. So let me start. And we have talked about the origin, from where it is starting. Okay. So that's your origin. This topic, my dear student, is very simple, and its weightage is around 4 marks. I think 4 to 8 marks question you get from this topic. If it is a half yearly exam, then you are going to get approximately 8 marks question from this topic, and this topic is not at all difficult. You don't need to do any rigorous calculations or practice in this chapter. You just please be attentive in the class and note down how the things are going, and take a graph sheet, practice it once or twice, and you will be very familiar. You will love this chapter because this is very scoring, and you don't need to do any rigorous calculations or anything in this chapter. In very few days, smoothly, we will be able to cover up this topic, and you will enjoy it. Okay. So I will show you on the screen also. Now in your notebook you will draw this type of two axes with the scale and pencil. I request you always to use a scale and a pencil to draw the axis and to do this work of coordinate geometry. So This is your x-axis and this one is y-axis. This is x-axis, we call it, the horizontal one. This is positive. See the number line? This is just like the number line we have been using since class 6. This is x-axis positive and this is minus x. Similarly, this is your plus y and this one is your minus y. Okay, and this point is called your origin. This point from where everything is going to start from this point. So this is said to be the origin. Now, whatever the points, you know the number line, you mark the points like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the positive, and in the negative you take it as -1, -2, -3, -4, right? And over here it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in the down it is your -1, -2, -3, -4, and say -5. Okay, now in this way this plane is divided into 4 parts: 1, 2, 3, 4. This is how we generally count. We say 1, 2, 3, 4. But when you are studying this coordinate geometry, you need to, number your planes in this manner. See, this is said to be the 1. This is called, these 4 parts are called quadrants. These 4 parts are called quadrants. Please note down the key words of today's class. This is your quadrant. What do we call it? The 4 parts. 4 parts, you know, quarter, quarterly. We say this word quarter when we are involved with 4, the word 4. We say you pay your fee quarterly. Okay, so that means 4 times in a year. So you are familiar with this word quarter. Quarter means 4. So because this is divided into 4 parts, so each part is called a quadrant. Each part is called a quadrant. Now this is your number 1 part. We start counting it like this. This is number 1. This one is number 2. This is number 3, and this one is your 4. So we move in an anti-clockwise direction. This is anti-clockwise. Remember, this is first quadrant. This is second quadrant, this is the third, and this one is the fourth quadrant. Okay, so this is first, second, third, and fourth quadrant. Remember, this is not the simple counting that we usually do. This is anti-clockwise direction. We start from 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. So we are familiar with the word quadrant. Why it is called quadrant? Because the plane is divided into 4 parts. Now, second comes the point, that is your, where anything that starts with, that is called your origin. It starts from here. This is the initial point. So this is called your origin. This is another word we have come across. Then so this is first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant. If you talk about the points, the location of the points in this quadrant, see all the numbers of x-axis, this is positive, and y-axis also this is positive. So this quadrant, another name, first quadrant, is called your plus plus quadrant. This is called plus plus quadrant. Okay. Nothing difficult, very simple concept. X is positive and y-axis also, all the points are positive. So the contribution of these two axes in this quadrant is positive, positive. Now, in this second quadrant, you see x-axis is negative. The points are negative, and this is your y. This is positive. So this quadrant, the points are negative and positive. So apart from second quadrant, we call it as negative positive quadrant. Negative positive. You may ask, ma'am, why not positive negative? It is not positive negative. We call it as negative positive because, see, when we are talking about axis, x-axis comes first. Alphabetically also, x comes first, then it is followed by y. So whenever we are writing about the points, that will be x-axis, the contribution of x-axis will come first, then we will talk about the contribution of y-axis. So because x is negative here in this quadrant and y is positive, this quadrant is called your negative positive quadrant. Am I clear to you? So this is negative positive. Now come to third quadrant. Third quadrant again, what is the contribution of x-axis? That is negative. So this is your contribution of x-axis is negative in this part. And what about the y-axis? Y-axis contribution is also minus. So this is called negative negative quadrant. Another name for third quadrant is negative negative quadrant. Okay. Now the fourth quadrant, you see contribution of x-axis is plus and the contribution of negative axis, this is giving you the negative. So this is called your positive negative quadrant. Once again, I give you time to please memorize all these things. This is very simple. Just listen carefully, note it down. Let your study be a smart study. Don't keep on cramming the things like that. Give it a smart look, note down the points and keep them in your mind. What all keywords been added to your dictionary of mathematics and how to remember it. Then it will be very easy and you will enjoy doing mathematics. I hope you have done yesterday's homework. Yesterday I have discussed with you some hot questions and I have given you 3 questions for homework. Let me know through this live chat box also that whether you are able to do the homework or not, and if you have any difficulty, that also you can communicate through this chat box. Apart from giving your attendance, I don't find any important query, anything to be discussed from your side. Please give me some valuable, some important things, anything you want to know about maths. So today I have given you one project, you can say, that is you have come to know about a mathematician. Maybe some of you are aware of the name. You have participated in maths quiz or any other program. So you can find out the contribution of the mathematician René Descartes and you can prepare, write down an article and submit it to your teacher for your internal marks. Okay. So I hope this is clear. Once again I repeat it. This is the x-axis and this is the y-axis. They are perpendicular to each other and all the points in this part, which is your first quadrant, the points will be positive positive because x-axis is positive over here and also y-axis is positive. So this is called positive positive quadrant. While in this part x-axis is negative and y-axis is positive. So this quadrant is your negative positive quadrant and this is the third quadrant where you have got x is negative, y is also negative. So this is your negative negative and this one is positive negative. And numbering of this quadrant is like first quadrant 1, second quadrant, third quadrant and then this is your fourth quadrant. Okay. So how do we write down the coordinates? Okay. So coordinates we say origin, the coordinate we say is 0, 0. So we have used the word coordinate, coordinate geometry. So we have come across the word coordinate. Okay. So coordinate, when we talk about, if I mark this point, say I have marked this point on it. Okay. So if I have marked, how will I specify, how will I mention what is the position? I have marked this point as A. If I want to know the location of A, how I need to move about? That is, first of all, I will go to x-axis and I will see this point is this point from origin. This is how far from y-axis, that is your 2. Okay, this is your 2. Okay, and then how far it is from the x-axis, this is your 1. So this way we locate the point. So A point, you say what is the coordinate of A point? Because first comes the x-axis. In the x-axis, what is its position? That is 2. And according to the y-axis, what is its position? That is 1, plus 1. So the coordinate of this point is 2, 1. Once again I repeat it. I mark any point, say this is, I have marked a point A. Okay, and in order to tell its location, as you specify your address, you say I live in this street number 4, flat number so and so, 30, 60. So a person when enters your society, first of all he or she will look for the street, then he will find the house number. So like that, whenever you are going, your address is given of this point as 2, 1. When you go to look for the address and find the point, so what you will do, you will first of all find out what is its location according to the x-axis. So this is 2, you move, this point is at 2, and from the y-axis, this is your distance from y-axis is 2 and distance from x-axis is 1. So in this way it lies, coordinate is stated as 2, 1. First comes the x, then comes the y. See, this is called your, this point 2 is called your, if I write it this 2, another name used for the location according to the x-axis is called your abscissa. These are all multiple choice questions, objective type questions. These are asked, and the y coordinate, suppose this is your 1, 1 is said to be the ordinate. So again we have come across two new words, that is abscissa and ordinate. Not coordinate, but this is ordinate. So number 4, these are the key words I am writing over here. Today's keyword A, B, C, I, S, S, A, abscissa. Then you have come to know about ordinate. Abscissa and ordinate. Okay. So whatever the point, say now let me mark another point. Say I will mark this point as this one. If I take this point, then how will you locate this point? How will you specify what will be the address of this point? What will be the address of this point? See, first of all, you see this is at x-axis, what is its location? You can see this is according to the x-axis, this is your on the point, this point, the first part. Okay, and according from the y-axis, if you see, this is the point. You have marked the perpendicular distance of this point from y-axis, and also you have marked the distance of this point from the x-axis. Now this point location according to x-axis, this is your -1, and according to y-axis this is at this point. So this is, what is this number? This is 5. So what is the location of this point? This is -1, 5. So what is the coordinate of this point? If I name this point as B, earlier this point I have called A, this one is say your B. So what is the coordinate of this point B? -1, 5. And this -1 is said to be abscissa, and this 5 is called the ordinate. Am I right? So x-axis is -1, y-axis is 5. Another name for this x-axis point, that is -1, is said to be the abscissa, and 5 is called the ordinate. And what is the coordinate of this point? Coordinate is -1, 5. X is equal to -1, y is equal to 5. Now in which quadrant this point lies, -1, 5? You find, now to I have represented on the coordinate quadrant Cartesian plane. So you see this point is lying in the second quadrant. This is marked 2. So this is placed in the second quadrant. And also I have given you the address of second quadrant, that whatever the points, their names, that is your, that are represented by negative, positive. That is the first number is negative, and the next number that follows, that is the y, that is positive. So here also you find this point B, this represented by -1, 5. The address of this point B is minus 1 comma 5. Okay. Now if we go and we mark a point like this over here, okay, so this is the point. Let me name it as C. Whenever you mark a point, make sure that your pencil is very sharp. Just put a dot and encircle it with a very small fine pencil, very small, encircle it, then this will be highlighted. When you encircle it, the point is highlighted and you name the point as C. Now what is the address of this point C? What's going to be the address? Address is, this is how far it is from x-axis, this is your, okay, and from this point, you see this is the point. So according to x, this is your, this point is 4, and according to y, this point is minus 3. Okay, so the address of this point C is 4 comma minus 3. 4 is your x-axis, address according to x-axis, and minus 3 is its address according to the y-axis. So this is 4 minus 3. This point lies in which quadrant? That is your fourth quadrant. Fourth quadrant. And the address that says the first thing is positive and then it is negative. So this is also another name for fourth quadrant is positive negative quadrant. We call it as positive negative quadrant. Okay. Now if we take one point in this, say this point, I have told you how to mark the point. Put a small dot and then encircle it. In that way, the point is highlighted. When you encircle it, that gets highlighted and you can read the point. Otherwise, if you just simply put a point, then sometimes it is not visible how whether at what particular point you have marked it. So that gets highlighted when we encircle it. Now, in order to find the location, the address of this point, first let me name it as D. So this is, we will first go to x-axis and we will mark it like this, the perpendicular line, and then we will mark it from y-axis. So in this way you read the x-axis first, that is your minus 1, then you read the y-axis, that is minus 4. So address of this point is minus 1 comma minus 4. So you have marked each one point in 4 different quadrants each, and you have found how to mark the point, how to locate the point, and if a point is given, there are two types of question. Question is given that now you are asked to mark a point, say your minus 3 comma 1. Minus 3 comma 1. Earlier some point was given and you were locating its address. You were finding its address. You were giving the name, the address to that point. Now some point is given. We will locate this point on the Cartesian plane. We will locate this point on the Cartesian plane. So the first thing is minus 3. First comes, I need to look for minus 3. So minus 3, this is the plus. So I need to move to this side. This is 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. Well, I have reached minus 3. Next, my step, I need to go to 1. Where is 1? I can't go down, because if you go down, that is your negative. If you move up, this is your positive. So minus 3 and this is your 1. This is 1. So this is the point. Okay, you name this point, say P. And now you can say your point P is equal to minus 3 comma 1. This point is your P, because this is x is minus 3 and y is 1. Okay class. So this is how there are two types of questions comes. That is, sometimes you are given some point, you have to find out this lie in which quadrant. Now if I ask you some question like, say I give you some point minus 5 comma minus 3 and I ask you this point lies in which quadrant? This point lies in which quadrant? This is negative negative. Immediately you conclude that this is in the third quadrant. Your answer will be third quadrant, right? So these are all the questions that are asked from this chapter. So I repeat it: Cartesian plane, origin. What is the coordinate of origin? That is your 0, comma 0. Origin is said to be 0, comma 0. And regarding quadrants, there are 4 quadrants: first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant. These are the key words, key things that you have learned: abscissa and ordinate. If you don't listen carefully, sometimes the student gets confused, and this question is often asked. This type of a point is given and you are asked to write down abscissa and ordinate. So what will be your answer? Your answer will be abscissa equal to -5 and ordinate is your ordinate equal to -3. Abscissa and ordinate. Dear student, this live chat box is not to let you know, your friends, that you are active in which all channels. Please give some genuine comments. Otherwise, I will be forced to turn down the chat box. I don't want any unnecessary chatting on this box. You leave some message for me if anything you want to know from the topic we are discussing. This platform has been open to you just for your study purpose. Don't make others know or advertise yourself that you are active in which all channels. I am not giving your name, but I am just giving you a warning that you should leave some good comments regarding your studies and your syllabus. This thing is required in this platform. Well, so this is your abscissa and ordinate, and sometimes you get confused that which one is the abscissa or ordinate. Okay, so remember A and O. A starts in alphabetically, A comes first and O comes later. So the first that comes, that is the first point that is given, that is your abscissa, and this is the x coordinate, and O is followed by A. So the next point that comes in a coordinate point, that is your ordinate. The first one is abscissa and the second one is ordinate. You need to learn these terms, abscissa and ordinate, and if you get some confusion whether the first one is ordinate or the second one is ordinate, in that case you should you can make this point for your understanding, that because A comes first, the first one is abscissa, and O comes later in the alphabetical order, so second one is your ordinate. Why coordinate? Now I find few genuine comments. I am happy, my dear students, that you are discussing something on this platform which is meaningful to the study going on. I welcome you. Ma'am, what is origin? One student, Anamika, you have asked, ma'am, what is origin? Okay, fine, Anamika, I don't know which school you are from. Very good, thank you, because you are asking something. Well, I have discussed it, but once again I will say origin. Origin is your this point, from where the number line originates. Everything starts from this state. We can say the sun is the ultimate source of energy. You can see this is the, when you draw sun, you draw it like this, you draw this, and then you draw these type of rays coming out of it. So all these rays are originating from this thing, that is your, we call it sun. So all these rays, you can say, they are coming out from this particular point. So this point is said to be the origin. Anamika, am I able to answer you? Ordinate y-axis, you people, abscissa, x-axis coordinate, you, yes, very good. Abscissa is x-axis and ordinate is y-axis, you people are writing it. Okay, good. Thank you very much. That shows that you are taking interest in the subject. I welcome you. That will motivate me also from this point because I can't see your face. But from the comments you are making, I will understand whether you are taking interest in my subject or not, my dear student. Ma'am, what is quadrant? One student has asked me, ma'am, what is quadrant? Okay, fine. My dear student, maybe you have joined later. I answer you. Quadrant is when I draw two lines on a plane, then these two perpendicular lines, this plane is divided into four parts. All the points in this part, then you can have points in this part, this and this. So the plane is divided into four parts. So for that, whoever has asked, I am answering you, my dear student. Please follow me. Okay. I hope you have noted these points. I have these keywords of today's class you have noted, so I am writing it. Now I am answering your question that see, if you are given a piece of paper, this is the piece of paper provided to you. Now what you do, if you draw these type of lines, one vertical y-axis, another one is you say x-axis. As soon as you draw these type of two lines, perpendicular lines, the piece of paper, this is divided into four parts. If you just join it like this, see, this is divided into four parts. You often fold a paper like this. First of all, you fold it in this manner, then another crease. So the four parts are 1, 2, 3 and 4. So these four parts, because this is four parts, the name used is quadrant. Quarter, that means 4, 1/4 we say. Okay, quarterly fee, quarter word, from that word we have come across quadrant, my dear student. This is called your quadrant. So each part is a quadrant. 1/4 of the paper, this is 1/4 of the paper. So this is one quadrant, this is another quadrant, this is another, and this one. How we name this quadrant? We name this as 1, 2, this is 1, 2, 3 and 4. So we go about anti-clockwise. This is what we have got the contribution from the mathematician René Descartes, who has given us this birth to this coordinate geometry, who give us the method to represent a point on a plane. So we are not going to question why this is being marked like this. Why not 1, 2, 3 and 4? This is what the basic things. We cannot question this type of things, but we have to follow them. So this is 1, 2, 3 and 4. They are the four parts. Each is said to be a quadrant. First quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant and fourth quadrant, right? So this is called your quadrant. Now let me see, I have missed one. Student may have asked something me what to do, but Pallavi Pandey study, these planes are divided into two parts. No, this is divided into four parts. Quadrant is when we draw two perpendicular axes. Yes, yes, yes. That is it. Now, Kunal, Kumar, Adarsh, no, again you are making some unnecessary comments. I don't want to read your name from this platform, but I am giving you warning. Ma'am, what is coordinate? Ma'am, what is coordinate is been asked. Coordinate is the address of the point. Say if I say minus 3 comma 1, that is coordinate of a point. Coordinate of a point is minus 3 comma 1. If I write 2 comma 5, this is coordinate of a point. Coordinate of a point. X is equal to 2 and y is equal to 5. This is what is coordinate. When we write it in this manner, this is called the coordinate, the ordered pair. Also the word is used, that is ordered pair. Ordered pair. This is a pair of number minus 3 comma 1 or 2 comma 5. They are called, and they are written in a particular order. If you want to represent the 2 comma 5 is not equal to 5 comma 2, my dear students. 2 comma 5 means you go to x-axis plus x-axis, that is 2, then you go to the y-axis, this is your 5. This point is your 2 comma 5. But if you say 5 comma 2, these two are not same. I will say what is 5 comma 2. 5 comma 2, you need to go to 5 and then you come over here. So this is the point 2 comma 5 and this is the point which is your 5 comma 2. So you should be particular when which number is the x-axis and which is the y-axis. When you write it in a particular order, that is said to be ordered pair or coordinate of a point. Okay. So anything else you want to know? I think today's class is a very simple topic and you are understanding it. There is nothing much to do. You enjoy doing it because no calculation, no formula, nothing is required. Just tomorrow I will request you to have a piece of graph sheet with you when you come to attend the class. Tomorrow we will take some activity method. I will give you some a little bit interesting thing we will do tomorrow. I welcome you to join the class in time, my dear students. And if there is no connection issue, then I will be able to communicate my lecture properly. Well, ma'am, what is abscissa? One student has asked, ma'am, what is abscissa? Abscissa is, my dear student, that is the first. See, minus 3. Minus 3 is abscissa. Or if we are talking about the ordered pair 2 comma 5, then 2 is going to be the abscissa. And what about ordinate? The next one, the y-axis point. 1 is your ordinate, or in this case, 5 is said to be the ordinate. Okay, ma'am, what is abscissa? This is asked by Siddharth. And then Akshat, you have a Kunal Kumar. Ma'am, please explain. I am not able to read your question, my dear. Then, ma'am, today I enjoyed the class. Jasant, you have written thank you. And Prachi, Kafi Sector 3, Rohini, you have joined me. Ma'am, please explain abscissa. I have explained you, dear. And again you people are asking me, ma'am, what is abscissa? What is ordinate? This type of questions are coming again and again. So before I wind up, I will give you this thing, homework. Some student has asked for homework. That's great. Some unknown name is not disclosed, but you are asking for the homework. Thank you, thank you. I will definitely entertain you with some homework. And okay. So I will take a graph sheet that is promised from Himesh. And what is origin? Asked by Ashwani. Okay, I enjoy this. What is ordinate? Again has been asked. Ma'am, explain quadrant. These things I have explained to you. Once again, before I wind up, I explain this to you. Is it visible to you? No. Okay, let me conclude. So today's class we are going to conclude. So I will give you some homework because it has been asked by some of the students. It's a pleasure that you are asking me to give you some homework. Okay, so today's class we have done coordinate geometry. This topic is coordinate geometry. To locate a point in the plane, whenever you take a piece of paper, this is a piece of paper with you, and whenever you draw to perpendicular axis like this, you divide your piece of paper into 4 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Each part is said to be a quadrant. Okay. Now how you number the quadrants? This is 1, 2, 3 and 4. Why it is called quadrant? Because the word quadra has come from the number 4. Okay. So you say quadrilateral, that is with 4 sides. You are familiar with this word, quadra. So this is because the piece of paper is divided into 4 parts, we call it quadrant. And this is your y-axis, this is x-axis. This is your plus, this is minus, again this is plus, this is minus. And what has been asked? Say I ask you to, this is the 1, 2, this is minus 1, minus 2. Now if I say you mark a point 2, comma minus 3. Okay, so this is said to be coordinate of a point. Now where is that point? Its address is given. I will locate it on this piece of paper. The address is 2, comma minus 3. This is also called your ordered pair. Ordered pair. Now whenever you are going to find the address of this point, first of all you go to 2. 2 is the address of x-axis. So this is 2. And now the second thing that you do is you go to -3. For -3 you need to find the point of -3 on y-axis. Y is minus in this direction. So this is your -3. So 2 minus 3 will lie somewhere around here. If you have a graph sheet with you, because there are lines, perpendicular lines, the grid is provided to you, you can exactly locate the point. This is called your x-axis, this is y-axis, this is abscissa, and this one is your ordinate. Okay, this is your abscissa, A, B, C, I, S, S, A, and this one is your ordinate. Okay. So for homework, I will give you a very small homework. If you can do, you take a graph sheet and locate these points. Say A 2, -5, B say 4, -4, and C that is -5, 7, and D that is your 3, 4, and E that is -2, -6. Okay class, please note it down your homework. Meaning of origin, I think I have winded it up. These are your previous messages. Ravinder Kumar, you are happy because you have got the homework. You are writing homework so many times. This homework will hardly need any time. Okay, my dear class. So this is a very simple topic. I hope you enjoyed the class, and today being Earth Day, I request you to join the various online competitions that are going on, and I wish you all the best. You win some exciting prizes, and let me know tomorrow in how many competitions you have participated. And thank you very much. Stay safe, enjoy your day, and few minutes time you give to just complete your homework. With this, goodbye to all of you.